about a sense of hope and expectation, and I'm excited to share some of those goals with you today, just to kind of let you know where we are. Thank you to Jason Cobb and America's First Federal Credit Union. I appreciate y'all sponsoring us today. Of course, I appreciate my wife, Franny, as my grandkids call. She does a great job supporting me and just giving, you gotta have somebody, a go-to person, right? And she's my go-to. I go to a lot of different events, and I got to update we've been married, when they give my bio, they say we've been married as high school sweetheart 48 years. We've been married 50 years. I got to get that up there. So I want to particularly thank our City Council, President John White. His leadership is outstanding. I'm just grateful for them and all the work that they do. Their passion, their vision for our city is really remarkable. I'm just so grateful for the teamwork that we have. It's just really, it makes everything work so much better. And I'm very grateful for that. For all the other elected officials that are in here, thank you. We work with them daily, and they're so important to the operations of our city. And of course, we have 800 city employees that work day in and day out to keep this city running smooth. And I'll give a special recognition to Alan Rice, who is our city administrator. And I'd love for all of our city employees that are here to stand up, and let's just give them a bit of recognition. Operate our city without the incredible work of our various boards and committees. And we've got over 20 different boards. There's probably 100 individuals who serve on those boards, volunteering their time, their expertise. And I want to thank all of you. There may be many board members in here, right? Any board members, would you please stand and let us recognize you? You serve on one of the boards in the city of Hoover. Got anybody here? Back there, great. Thank you very much. And I often say one of the main reasons people choose to move to Hoover, Alabama is because of the absolutely incredible school system that we have. And of course, leadership plays a huge part in the success of any organization. Dr. D. Fowler, he's already proven to be a strong leader for our community and a staunch advocate for our students. Dr. Fowler, we welcome you to Hoover, and we are glad you're here, and thank you for sharing your knowledge and expertise with us, Dr. Fowler. And to the leaders and the members of the Chamber of Commerce, I'm grateful to each of you, Tony and Paul and David. I certainly look forward to working with you and all that you do. The Chamber and the members, I see them at all of our different open houses, ribbon cuttings. They really put a lot of time in, and I'm very grateful for all that you do. Our city's been bold in their actions over the last 50 years. We've taken risks, trusted our gut, stepped out on faith, and made things happen. That's why we're now a city of about 93,000 people, the 6th largest city in the state. It's because we had city leaders that had vision, but they had the fortitude to act on that vision as well. They made it a place that people wanted to live and work. And it's up to us to keep Hoover in that great position. For Hoover to continue on this path, we must have the same type of bold, committed mentality. We cannot expect the status quo to propel us forward to help us maintain the quality of life that we all want to enjoy. To continue on those paths, we must take action. We've seen some great developments come along the way, and that speak to the future of the city. I think of mixed-use communities incorporated into town centers and similar types of developments that will sustain us. We continue as a city to have the philosophy that is reinforced and supports the building of communities that have green space with residential and commercial options and entertainment, all within a distance that allows you to walk, bike, or use your golf cart. Those are the types of developments that continue to allow us to do well. And it's those types of developments that will provide the type of dynamic experiences that will make our children and our grandchildren want to stay here in Hoover, Alabama. So we often ask the question, why are they leaving? Instead of wondering, let's continue to build a community that will cause them to stay and want to stay. We should continue to be proactive with redevelopment opportunities in our city, recreating good quality investments that will build sustainable neighborhoods and businesses as well. When we see opportunities in our older established neighborhoods to create that walkability, we should move quickly in that direction. While the developments of today look much different than the developments of, say, 30, 40, 50 years ago, it doesn't mean they're obsolete. Rather, we can incorporate some of the new amenities like more walkability and more connectivity. Whether you prefer a condo, a modern flat, traditional sprawling suburban estate, or even if you want to have horses, we have it all here in Hoover, Alabama. And our goal is to offer something for everyone. Our diversity on many different fronts is what makes us unique, and we must continue to embrace those things while at the same time be committed to smart growth. One example of preserving history while blending new amenities is the redevelopment that is taking place in Bluff Park Village. That area now includes a modern Piggly Wiggly, a new restaurant, several other new revitalized businesses that are bringing energy back into that shopping center. Mr. Ken Harden, I think that's, where's Mr. Harden? Please stand, Mr. Harden. Mr. Nassim Najjalani, would y'all stand? It all happened because of these two men. These two men who lived here, they've raised their families here, and they were just not satisfied with the status quo. They were willing to make financial commitments and reinvest in their community to make it better. Change can't happen with just the city investment. It takes participation by those that own the property and have a vision working in conjunction with the city to make it happen. Mr. Harden, Mr. Najjalani, we appreciate your partnership and commitment to making Hoover better. Thank you. We are seeing new businesses open in Tattersall Park in the 280 corridor, as well as along Highway 150, where you'll find Brock's Gap and Stadium Trace Village. These are the types of attractions with walkability, connectivity, residential options ultimately drive people to our city and cause them to want to work, live, and play here. We're excited about the new Everly development that will sustain a growth pattern in Hoover for the next 20 years. And when I talk about being grateful, I'm grateful to the City Council for choosing not to de-annex the 868 acres contained in Trigger Creek and the Trigger Creek property. Doing so would have essentially cut off our opportunity to grow in the southwest section of the city. But now we can look forward to future development in that area as well. And at the same time, I want to acknowledge the council for the negotiations that took place with our school system. The results are that it will provide land for another school to be built in our city should that need ever arise. I'm very grateful. Economic development, 2021 continued to be a great year in terms of economic development, and I can also gladly say that the financial health of our city is really outstanding. One example of our economic development team, led by Greg Knight, who worked for months on a long-time Hoover company with Revere Control System. The company had outgrown their current campus on Rocky Ridge Road. So combined with tax abatements and a new research and development zoning definition from the City Council, this STEM-based company will keep 100 well-paying jobs and create over 50 new jobs in the city of Hoover. Revere's new campus, this is important, will be located at the long, dormant Winn-Dixie Shopping Center on Princeton Way, enhancing a gateway to our city and providing further revenue opportunities. Greg, I appreciate all your work on this. Mike, that may cut down about 50 phone calls a month we get for filling that vacancy, am I right? Small businesses continue to be recognized in Hoover, especially in our growing food scene. Hoover's first restaurant week occurred in 2021, bringing special attention to many of our independent restaurants. We have our first International Restaurant Week underway right now, spotlighting many mom and pop restaurants owned by international proprietors. We're making great headway with ownership at the River Chase Galleria in Patton Creek. We're having vital conversations, and I'm happy to say that both are involved and excited about redevelopment opportunities on their properties. Ultimately, we believe the conversations will result in dramatic changes for both properties. Keep in mind, though, this does not happen overnight, but these are exciting times, so please stay tuned on those two properties. One of the biggest economic drivers in our city continues to be the Hoover Mayor and the Finley Center. Again, both are examples of bold vision I spoke of earlier. Years ago, city leaders put action to their vision, and that action is playing off today in 2021. The Met's economic impact on the Hoover metro area was more than $68 million. Several thousand travel teams from across the country utilized the Met complex, and we had over 175,000 visitors. But the area is not just known for sports. Nearly 150 community events were held at the Finley Center and the Met, including trade shows, job fairs, and business expos. And for several months, the parking lot of the Met served as a COVID vaccination site, serving more than 78,000 patients that came from around the state. We hosted that site in conjunction with UAB, and that's a partnership that we believe is valuable, and we will continue to grow that. In May, we had another successful year hosting the SEC baseball tournament. In spite of COVID, we held that tournament. But in 2019, the year before the virus, the Met saw the largest attendance in the history of the SEC tournament. We're committed to building that relationship with the SEC so that we can continue to hold that great event here each and every year. And in July, the Hoover Met will proudly be part of the World Games, hosting the softball portion of the games. It's believed that the softball games will have the biggest draw of all the sports, and during that time, the eyes of the world will be on the city of Hoover. We're ready, and we anxiously await the opportunity to seize that important moment. We also welcome the opportunity to advance the cause of regional cooperation, realizing no city is an island, but when we work together, we all win together. All of those things that I just mentioned in conjunction with the Met certainly add to the quality of life that we have here in Hoover. But there's so much more. At Stadium Trace, the developers are working to build our first entertainment district. The Village Green, as it will be called, will host an arts and concept hub that will include a state-of-the-art amphitheater. Nearby, we'll also open our first brewery, Brock's Gap Brewing Company, which is adjacent to the Met. There will be other restaurants and outdoor spaces, and they will make up part of that district, and it will drive visitors of all ages to this area. This is all slated to open sometime later this year. Not too far from the entertainment district, you'll find a 130-acre linear park that will run along the Cahaba River. We're grateful to Signature Homes for donating this land to the city, in addition to the nearly 80-acre mountain bike park that sits nearby. And this is very remarkable because the donation that Signature is doing, they're completely grooming and preparing this park. When they hand it over to us, it's ready to use. It's an incredible investment, and I'm so grateful for that. This will include a 43-acre Fleming Park and a pavilion that includes a large outdoor classroom with access to the Cahaba River, and that's a phenomenal resource that we have in our city, and we've never quite capitalized on it until now. So residents and visitors will have the opportunity to bike, hike, canoe in one of the largest municipal parks that are run along the state of the Cahaba River. The largest one in the state that I know of that runs along the Cahaba River. And so I really thank Dwight Sandlin and Jonathan Belcher. I don't see them here today, but if you see them, you should let them know how much we appreciate it and thank them for that. For years, we've heard our residents voice their desire for an arts center, a performing arts center, and we've listened. Last month, we held a town hall meeting which citizens shared what they would like to see in such a facility. We now anxiously await the results of the feasibility study that's underway, knowing that study will guide us in building the right arts center for our city. We're very, very excited about that, and we look forward to it. If you live in Hoover, you already know it's the best city to live in, but it's great when others who live outside our area recognize it. And so last summer, a very respected publication, 24/7 Wall Street, designated the city of Hoover as the best place to live in Alabama. And the designation was based on economy, the affordability, quality of life, and our community. So in celebration of this honor, you've probably seen the little blue shade parks located all across the city. And it's one way we wanted to share and to reaffirm that we love to live in Hoover. Our city is diverse in so many ways, and I love talking to people and hearing their stories. One such story that tells an incredible journey is that of Chow McClendon. Chow, stand up. Chow has lived in Hoover and operated a business here for 35 years. Let me tell you how she got here. Chow was born in Vietnam, and in 1975, when the Communist Party came to power, she did not agree with their governing principles, and in 1980, she decided to come to America. Her decision to become one of the boat people, as they are known today, was not an easy choice. 95% of those who chose to leave did not survive on the seas. But Chow did, arriving in Alabama and to live with her sister in 1981. She had hardly any clothing, she could barely speak English, and she didn't have transportation, but she was determined to make it. 4 years after arriving in the States, she opened Chow's Alterations in Hoover, which remains open today. Chow's story inspires me in many ways, including the lens through which she views her journey to the United States. She said it's not just a journey to America, but a journey to Christ. Today, she's a staunch Christian who is bold in her faith. She demonstrates this in many ways, including collecting clothes and then distributing them to the needy. And if you've ever needed alterations, you know she's an excellent seamstress. She's good. She's done alterations for Miss America, dozens of Miss Alabamas, and at least one bald-headed mayor. Chow's an example of the kind of citizen that we have, and we love that she is in Hoover. And one of the funny things that she told me, she learned to speak English because she would watch Jimmy Swaggart, and she said he talks so slow. She didn't understand. And then she barely made a living wage here, and her joy once a week was to get an Arby roast beef sandwich. So, thank you, Chow. So I'd like to take a moment to talk about our crime stats. And when you look at our 5-year averages in the city from 2016 to 21, homicides were down 41%, robberies were down 23%, burglaries down 30%, car break-ins down 7%. So these are numbers are a testament to how well trained our police department continues to be. A fact that has only improved since the official opening of the Frank and Bearfield $4 million training center that we opened last year. We're not only using this center for our officers, but officers from all across the state use that. In 2021, we added 4 new police officers to provide a dedicated police precinct at the River Chase Galleria. This mall is still a desired shopping destination in our state, and our hope is that these 4 officers will become the fabric of the mall, providing a familiar and friendly face to those who work and shop there. In addition to answering calls for service specifically at the Galleria, these men and women in these positions will also focus on community policing. Our partnership with the Galleria plays a key role with the overall success of the city of Hoover. And you know, I hear from mayors all over the state. I was just with 9 other mayors of the largest cities in the state last week. And all I heard was the difficulty in hiring police officers. For some reason, our country has vilified our police officers and taken a job that is honorable and noble and takes brave, dedicated individuals to step in that role. So let me be clear about this. In Hoover, Alabama, we appreciate our officers, We honor our police officers, and we stand behind our police officers. Chief Durgis, thank you for your 2021 was a big year for Hoover Fire Department. In December, we opened Fire Station 11 on the city's west side of town, serving the Highway 150 Stadium Trace Corridor. Also in November, the department received notice it now has received an accreditation. It took the department roughly 2 years to go through this and to achieve this goal, and it included being evaluated in 10 core areas, 250 key indicators, and they had to develop a 5-year strategic plan. The department is now one of only 291 in the country to claim this title. But more impressively, they are the only municipal fire department in the state of Alabama to be accredited. Chief Bentley, thank you very much for your leadership. Last year was a record year for our E911 Communications Center as well. They are our first responders. Our dispatch center received nearly 184,000 phone calls. They made nearly 130,000 dispatches, and they conducted almost 1.5 million radio transmissions. These public safety professionals help deliver babies, they give life-saving medical instruction, they evacuate buildings, all from the console at that dispatch center. And all of this is done with their number one priority of protecting our police officers and firefighters and making sure that they receive the right information. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention the incredible work of our engineering staff and our public works department. Their response to unprecedented flooding and a major tornado this past year was simply remarkable. I really appreciate them. We've already talked about what a great school system we have and what a great fire department we have. But here's where the two intersect. Is Jace Doherty. Jace, would you stand up? Jace graduated from Spain Park High School last year. At the same time, he also graduated from the Hoover Fire Academy, which is housed at the River Chase Career Connection Center. We know it as RC3. An outstanding young man, Jace was the first student to earn a scholarship to the Alabama Fire College, and he successfully completed his certification program for Firefighter 1 and 2 certificates. Over the summer, prior to attending recruit school, Jace attended EMT school at Jefferson State Community College to earn his basic EMT license. Having done all of those great things, earned him an interview this past week with the Hoover Fire Department. I know that you will be a great asset. I'm so pleased to have his mom and dad and grandparents here as well. Thank y'all for joining us. 2021 also continued to be a strong year for construction in the city, and we issued 6,300 building permits. The valuation of all the construction work in Hoover this year was over $481 million. New businesses continue to find their way in Hoover. We issued 1,988 new business licenses representing a variety of industries, including retailers, professional firms, insurance companies, and restaurants. That was an increase of over 800 compared to the year before. So, as a close, we've reflected on the past year today, and I hope you've been able to see what a phenomenal city we live in and the wonderful services that we provide and what great neighbors we have. We didn't get here and where we are by accident. There was intentionality in our pursuit of excellence. That pursuit got us here, but it won't just keep us here. Remaining where we are today will cause us to be a casualty of complacency. The answer, therefore, is threefold. We must reflect, as we've done here today, revisit the past, see where we've won and where we've lost, take note, and kind of learn from both. We must then regroup, come together, dream big, set visions, and commit to that success. And then lastly, we must charge ahead, working hard every day, taking risks, continue to dig, continue to push until that vision is a reality. The pursuit of excellence is never easy, but it is attainable. We today in the city of Hoover are living proof. So the question for us, will we continue to set the bar high or live off the glory of the status quo? I know my answer. What's yours?